I think we had to gather ourselves a little bit. We had to, or the players had to find out how hard they were willing to compete the rest of the way. You know, we hadn't seen that team yet this year, and they came as advertised. We know them. Penalty early didn't help, right? And we did not a bad job on the kill, and we made a mistake, and they scored late. So we were on our heels. I think we got more competitive.
In a certain way, is this game more satisfying, if you will, than the Winnipeg game, where maybe you were expecting a big reaction coming out of the San Jose game, and then, you know, like you said, slow start and then big finish?
I don't think so. I think the Winnipeg game was we just played so well that game, start to finish. I don't think we played so well tonight. Not even just the first period. Our goalie played extremely well tonight. You know, they missed a few chances. I don't know how many posts they had. I mean, we had a couple on our end too. What the takeaway for us on this is just we dug in and competed, and we got rewarded for competing. Not necessarily for how well we played, but how hard we competed the last 40 minutes.
All those words you use seem to describe Tanner Jeannot very well. I asked you about him this morning, but good to see him again be kind of the straw that stirs the drink to get it going.
Yeah, big goal when we needed that. He also had some good hits on the forecheck. We saw that too. But yeah, I mean, that's a big, strong, talented team. And, you know, he's the kind of a guy that in those games you need to step up. You've got a special presence to you. That has to be exposed in a game like that. And I thought he did that, obviously, the goal. I think he had an assist too, didn't he? Somewhere around there, yeah.
We just talked to Tanner about wanting his line to set the tone on the forecheck, and it seemed like they were great on that end. I mean, they really kind of dragged you guys into that game in the second. How important was it to get that line just setting that tone for you?
Yeah, I mean, that should be the strength of that line, for sure. They're all big, they're all strong. Q and Foegele are extremely fast. So we needed that from somebody. We weren't getting that. We hadn't established anything in the O-zone before they got that going in the second period. Then we had some consecutive shifts, but we needed that goal. Obviously, you know, as much as the game-winning goal, I thought that goal was probably the biggest goal of the night. Just kind of get us back and get us a bit of a reward for coming out strong in the second.
Jim, you've talked before about what you like about 11-7, but why tonight instead of against Anaheim or next Saturday? Why tonight?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think the schedule helps us a little bit because we had a couple days off, practice. Now we don't play again till Saturday, so I think that is a benefit. I've been talking about it with the coaches for a while. I want to get to this. We just didn't feel it was the right time. Just felt like tonight was.
I got a little more on Rittich. He's won some games here in recent days. How well he's.
Oh, he played really good tonight. I don't know that he played a better game than he did tonight that I can remember this season. I thought that was his best. We needed it. So yeah, he's just done a great job while Kemps has been out, carrying the load because he's played all but one, right? I mean, Ports gave us that one really good game. That's a lot of pucks, a lot of stress for the goaltender. He did a great job, especially tonight.
Jim, after that first period, and it's not going your way, who steps up and speaks, gets the team going?
I don't know. I mean, again, you'd have to ask those guys. I say my piece. I leave the room. They're clearly somebody in there takes charge. I don't know if it's always the same person, but somebody certainly took charge.
Because it was interesting. I was mentioning a couple of guys. Pete DeBoer, in his interview on TNT, said he was expecting a push from you guys. You guys seemed a little flat that first period. He was concerned that you guys were going to do what you did. Could you see that things were just a little sluggish?
Well, we never got, season ticket holder we talked to the other day. I'm getting confused again. Where's Josh? Sometimes we were on our heels, and sometimes, unfortunately, it takes getting out of the period, getting into the dressing room, and then being able to re-engage yourselves and taking a breath and getting it back going again. So we weren't able to flip it during the period, but maybe that's what he was talking about. By the time we got out of the 2-0, probably could have been worse, still give ourselves a chance to gather ourselves and come back with a push.
Jim, isn't the measure of a good team winning when you don't play your best?
That's an important one, for sure. And I think, I said this to the team, that the Anaheim game, as much as we got outplayed, we still had to go out there and win the third period. And we did that. So that was the job. The Ottawa game, which was a tough game, I think it was 2-2 after 2, right? We had to go out and win the period. And so I've been on plenty of teams and had plenty of nights where you go out and lose. You play well and you lose. in the end, you got to find a way to win, and I thought that's what we've done here probably the last 3 games, is found a way to win in the third. And you don't just get lucky. You got to earn it. If you're not working, you're not going to win. Trust me. So you go out there and work, you get some bounces, you score a big goal, and it happens to go your way. But it's the commitment that you make. Generally, you earn your own luck there.
Back to the 11-7. What's the message to Andre? What does he have to do to get back in the lineup? You know, especially coming off what was a pretty good performance of the week.
Yeah, no, he played good. You saw against Anaheim, at least I had him out there, the last couple minutes of the game. So yeah, he played good. So it's not necessarily a thing that he has to do. It's just there's other things that go into the decision as well. But I wouldn't look at somebody not playing well for the reason for us to go 11-7. Cal Burrows hadn't played in forever. We wanted to get him in. The Spence and Mavari have been playing good together. Didn't want to take one of them out to get Burr in. So there's lots of different things that pile on top of each other to come to that decision.
Is flipping it in game against that team, the team that you guys have struggled with, different than flipping it in game against the lower tier clubs? It
is. I don't know that we flipped it. I don't know whether we flipped the game. We flipped our game. We started getting more competitive, but I mean, let's be honest. They still took it to us. So that's just the quality of their team. That's a good team. We felt like probably that was our hardest game of the year. The one that we felt most overwhelmed at times. It's a good team.
Jim, early in the season, you said you wanted to ask Mikey to take his game to the next level. Are you seeing that kind of transpire?
Yeah, I mean, I'd throw it back at you guys. I've certainly seen it. I've seen it in a number of different ways. The consistency, the physicality. I think Mikey's got a little swagger that he never had, realizing the level that he's playing at for as long as he had, that he does have that in him. So I think that's helped him. But no, for me, I've just been very, very impressed with his game. He's given us what we asked.
Does part of that come from Drew not being there and him sort of being able to come out of Drew's shadow, if you will?
I don't know. Again, good question for him. But I think what happened, we started the season and we kind of had even pairs, or say what you will, and there was no real matchup. And I don't think it went great for a lot of different guys. When we put him and Gabby together and gave him his job back, which his job with Drew was to be the shutdown defenseman, I thought that's when he started playing better. And now he's just, built his game up from that point. And it's as good as he's played for me, as consistent as he's played.
Jim, going back to that line, focusing on Foegele, he was all over the ice tonight. He was so good in all 3 zones, had the 2 points. And he was a signing that came in, not a lot of fanfare, not a huge name. He's been so good this season. How important has he been coming in and being so effective for you?
Yeah. I mean, we had a pretty good sense of his game, but I think he's given us more than maybe we would have even hoped for. Penalty killing has been really strong. His speed is the obvious, but he's been very competitive. He's got good hockey sense. So he's turned into one of our offensive threats, as we've seen, not just with the goals, but he makes some pretty good passes too. So I think that, and he's evolved his game as his career's gone. At first you start on the 4th line. This is a lot of players. We talked about Turk. You start on the 4th line, you earn a job in the NHL, and then you realize you got more skill, and you grow confident, you understand the game. And now we're seeing this. So I still think he's even got more to go, because he's never really been placed in that much of an offensive role, or played as much as he has here. So I still think he's got room to grow.
And outside of the game tonight, it was announced earlier that Adrian Kempe made Team Sweden for the 4-nation face-off. Just how excited was everyone in the room for him? And he's maybe an underrated player around the league. Just give him a chance to really announce himself on the international stage.
Yeah, I haven't addressed that. I meant to do that after the game. And not just him, Mike Buckley, our goalie coach, right, and Darren Granger, our trainer. So the 3 of them. The thing about Adrian is I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? I don't think it caught any of us off guard. So we're excited for him. We're happy for him. But I think we all felt like he's a player that's going to go help Sweden and be in that tournament. So it's probably a little anticlimactic, I think, for me, just because I expected it.
Have you had a chance to console Drew, though? Because him not making Team Canada would be...
Yeah, I mean, that's a difficult one. I'm sure had Drew been healthy and playing, I don't make the decisions, but he would have been a hard guy to keep off that team. Let's put it that way. But it's pretty tough when he hasn't played, and there's no guarantee what date he will come back.